Hi you guys, my name is Jalen and welcome to my channel. Let's build a healthy lifestyle together. We are going to be talking about my February core challenge. So I'm just going to be breaking down all of the movements that we're going to be doing, and then I have 3 circuits that we're going to do. I wanted to do it so that you were able to manipulate it and put it into a way that's going to work best for you, and also so that you can use this as a tool later down the road so that it'll fit for more than just the month of February. But it'll just kind of be fun to all be doing it together this month and motivating, encouraging each other, and just kind of getting that mind to muscle memory down and just kind of like learning how to use your core. I feel like sometimes while we're working out and just in everyday life, we forget to use our core, and it's such a good strength and such a good power for you to use. And so this month we're really going to focus on that, and we're just going to build our core. Some things that are really important to remember before starting any exercises in general, but I'm just going to focus on your core, is to always make sure that you're focusing on your form. Form is number 1. So if you ever feel like your form is breaking down, just make sure that you're stopping what you're doing. I mean, even if I said that you need to do 8 reps, if at rep 5 your form is breaking down, just, stop what you're doing, because having a bad form can problems down the road, and we just want to make sure that our form is number 1. You can really get hurt if your form is breaking down, and you don't want to get into the habit of not having good form. And it's okay if you can't get all the reps in, as long as you're getting good solid reps in. That's really all that matters. When it comes to core exercises, it's really important to make sure that you're not using other muscles. That can cause some damages. So you'll see that a lot of people, when they're doing core exercises, they'll use their hip flexors. They're more bending at their waist than actually using the core. It can be really beneficial for you if, when you're doing an exercise, think about the muscle that you're using. So when we're doing these core exercises, really think about your abs, think about your core, and really just concentrate on that with every single. You're not thinking about that muscle, you can start using your backs and your hip flexors a lot, and that can cause some damages, and that can cause some tightness in areas that we don't really want. If you're trying to build your core, you should be thinking about your core, you should be exercising your core. You don't want to get lower back problems or hip issues because you're focusing too much on using other areas of your body to help you work out your core. Or if you feel that you're using different parts of your body, like your hip flexors or your back, using too much momentum to get your core exercise in, stop what you're doing and just stop at that for your body, because then at that point you're not really using your core and you're not getting that strength that you need. You're just relying too much on other bodies. So I know that when we think about core, we think about abs and, ooh, I'm gonna do this core exercise so that I can get abs and I can look fit. But the truth is that working out your core is not going to give you abs. Abs are actually only visible when you're at a very low body fat percentage, and we can't spot treat fat. So just because we're working out our abs doesn't mean that we're going to lose belly fat. You're going to lose fat altogether if you're in a calorie deficit. So I just really want to emphasize on that I'm not here saying that you're going to get abs from doing these exercises, but there are so many more benefits to having a strong core than just having visible abs. And I think that we really need to focus on that. One of the biggest ones I think is stability and balance. That's just going to help you in your everyday life. Just walking down the road, you're using your abs. Bending over, picking things up, that's all coming from your core strength. So I think that's really important to have. Another thing is your posture. Having good abs and having a tight core, you're able to stand up straighter. And that's going to help you with if you have any back problems or shoulders, anything like that. Having a strong core is just going to help hold you up more into. Having a strong core can help you with all of your other lifts at the gym or just in life. When you're squatting, when you're picking something up, you're using your core strength. So in the gym, if you have a stronger core, you're going to notice that you will be able to lift heavier. And even just in everyday life, if you're going to pick up your kid or if you're moving things around at work, having a strong core is going to help you better move. And you're going to notice that you're not going to be using your back as much, so that can help you relieve with back pain. All right, you guys, well, let's just jump on in and get started with this. So as you can see, the first exercise is the vacuum pose. So this is the one that's holding your breath, but really focus on squeezing that muscle and keeping it tight up, just sucking your belly button in as much as you can and just holding that for 15 seconds. Now here we have the plank. So you're going to be doing in your circuit for week 1 and week 3, you're going to be holding these for 30 seconds, and in week 2 and in week 4 you will hold them for 45 seconds. So as you see that you do them on your forearms and on your toes, and you hold that, and you want to have a straight back, but something that I want you to focus on is tucking your tailbone in. So kind of, if you can kind of tell in the video, I'm kind of sucking my tailbone in, and this is going to help you really engage your core. While you're doing this, you want to be thinking in your head about your core and about holding that muscle tight, and that's how you're really going to feel it. And bringing in that tailbone is going to help you engage that core even more. You don't want to be using your back muscles at all, and that's why you're trying to have that perfect plank position. I know that this one can be difficult for a lot of people, and if you can't hold it for that solid 30 or 45 seconds, that's okay. Do it with good posture, with good stability and straightness as you can. And if you can't last, then that's okay. Drop down. What's more important to me is that you're having that really good form, and that's way more important than holding it for that 30 and 45 seconds, because once that form breaks, you're not getting that core engagement that we need. You're not building that muscle, and you're not making that muscle stronger. Now you're using your back and you're using your hip flexors to hold yourself. If that form drops, if you feel your butt go down, stop. If you're getting that high butt, stop. Okay, we want perfect form on this one for as long as you can hold it. Here we have the Russian twist. So I like to use weight for this, but if you're new, don't feel like you have to use any weight at all. You just kind of cup your hands up, go over, and you can use, like I am, just a dumbbell weight, or you can use one of those big medicine balls. That's also really nice to use. And you're not trying to go very fast. As you can see, I go to the side, I pause, and then when I come back up, I pause before I'm going back over to the next side. And that's really important, because when we're using our muscles, we really want to make sure that it's slow and controlled movements. That's how we know that we're getting the most out of our muscles. If we're just doing it quick, then we're using momentum to get us to the different areas, and that's not what we want at all. We really want slow and controlled. We want to engage that muscle, and you want to be thinking about the muscle while you're doing it. This is one of my favorite exercises. So this is your weighted side crunch. This really works your obliques, and I absolutely love the look of like some really defined obliques. I feel like that's how you get like that shape, you know? So you're holding the weight on the one side, and then with really good posture, you're going and you're squeezing to the side, and then you're coming back up, and you're squeezing the entire time. So think about that side and come back up. As you can see, I have you can have your hand kind of like on your hip, and if you want it to be more difficult, you can put your arm up by your head, and that is just causing your muscles to lengthen, so it's making it harder for you to make that movement. So with a lot of these core exercises, you can, if you are lengthening your body by putting your arm over your head or extending it out, that is going to make the exercise harder. Just do what you're comfortable with. As long as you're kind of feeling that muscle working, then we're on the right track here. But you're going to be doing the 8 or 10 on the one side, and then you flip over to the other side. Here we have the hip flexor deactivator. So as you can see, I have my legs on top of a chair. You can also do it on a bench, wherever you're at. You can find something that works for you. So you're kind of digging your heels in. And then as you can see, I've lifted my butt up. So I'm really just like trying to deactivate my hip flexors from working, and I just have my shoulder blades really touching the ground. So your butt should not be touching the ground at all, just your shoulder blades. And then you're doing that small crunch movement. We're not doing a sit-up, these are just crunches, okay? So you're not getting your full momentum, you're not flying your body up, you just are wanting to do these small movements to squish your abs together and then release them back. On this one, you can have your hands behind the back of your head. If you need it to be easier, you can bring them down and then they can be to your side, and that can help you go. Or if you need something more challenging, you can bring your arms and bring them up over your head and do the crunches like that. That's very difficult, expert level. Here we have the TRX Side Twist. Now for this one, we use a TRX band. As you can see, I'm using it on a squat rack. I just wrapped it around, and then you kind of want it to have it at your armpit length. That's kind of what I aim for. And then you're grabbing it and then you're twisting it to the side. So kind of think about like the Russian twist, but you're standing up. And you're grabbing it and you're using your core to go to the side movements, okay? So you want to do your 8 or your 10 on one side, and then you flip over and you're going to do it on the other side. Here we have the reverse crunch. So this one's easiest to do on a bench because as you can see, you're trying to get your feet flat and then you're crunching up over your head. And so you just have better momentum and better movement if you're a little bit higher up. If you don't have that option, you can definitely do it on the ground. It is easier to be holding something to keep you steady, so keep that in mind. So if you're at home, you could grab maybe underneath your couch or a chair that's heavy that's not going to move. That's kind of what I would do if I was at home and I didn't have an option like using one of these benches that you can grab onto. It's just a slow, controlled movement. We're trying to get those legs straight and then crunch up. If you want to have straight legs, that's definitely making it a lot more difficult. I'm not on that level. So as you can see, I'm bending at my knees and going up, and that's just what works for me. So don't feel like you need to strain yourself to have your legs completely out if it's just not something that's going to work for you. As I said before, and I'll repeat it a million times, form is number one. That form's breaking, we're stopping the movement and we're not doing any more reps. We're resting, and then we can try it again. And if you're just too tired, or if it's just not working for you that day, then we're not going to do it. Simple as that. Here is the Physio ball crunch. So as you can see, my lower back is on the Physio ball, and then we're gonna have nice sturdy planted feet on the ground, and we're lifting our hips up so that way that we have the best control, the best movement, and then we're slowly just crunching up our body. We're not using that ball and having our momentum fly us up. And then we're gonna go back down, and then our backs are going to kind of go down the shape of the ball and then come back up. Again, we're not doing sit-ups. We're just doing a little crunch, okay? So you're gonna feel it. We're gonna get that nice back stretch, and then we're crunching our abs. We're bringing our abs in, and we're letting our abs do that. And why we have our feet planted on our ground and the hips up, it prevents our hips from doing a lot of the work. Just not paying attention, you'll notice that your hips are going to be doing a ton of the work, and that's where we're going to focus on our body, focus on our muscles, and we're going to be really present and have a lot of intentions while we're doing all of these workouts, is that we know that for sure we are using our abs and engaging our core. I'm sorry that it's not a completely at-home guide, but I hope that there's enough options for you to kind of get creative, and you can always reach out to me if you need some more ideas if something isn't working for you, and I will send you something else that I think that can work as one of the movements. As you can see, I do have it kind of set out where it's a crunch, then it's a side to side movement, and then we're always ending with a plank, just because I think that is one of the best exercises that you can do to strengthen your core. So I have kind of set it up in that way for the 3 circuits. Okay, you guys, well, that is the breakdown of the February core challenge, and I am so excited to be doing this with you. I'll be posting daily on my Instagram at Jalen_Nordstrom. So go ahead and follow me, and we'll be able to do the exercises together. I think that my plan is to do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I will have a story highlight, so you can always come back on there and watch any highlights. Go over more in detail about each exercise, but I kind of wanted this to be a place where you could go just to kind of catch up on what we're doing, and if you needed a quick link just to go on to see the core exercises. But thank you guys so much for following along, and I can't wait to hear what you think about this core challenge. And thank you guys again. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, whatever you need to do. Thanks you guys so much.